My friends, life will test you, not once, not twice, but again and again, sometimes through people, sometimes through failure, sometimes through silence. You may lose confidence, you may lose people, you may even lose direction. But listen carefully. As long as you don't lose your inner strength, you are never lost. Today, I'm not here to tell you how to control life, because life cannot be controlled. I'm here to share something more powerful, how to be strong in any situation. My friends, most of our suffering does not come from the problem itself. It comes from one simple sentence we keep repeating inside our mind. This should not have happened. But life does not work on shoulds. Life works on what is. We waste so much energy fighting reality, arguing with the past, complaining about the present, and fearing the future. And then we say, I am tired, I am weak, I cannot handle this. But listen carefully. The situation is not breaking you. Your resistance to the situation is. Acceptance does not mean giving up. Acceptance does not mean you agree with what happened. Acceptance simply means you stop fighting the truths. Because the moment you say, yes, this has happened, your mind becomes calm enough to think clearly. Let me give you a simple example. When you fall sick, the doctor first tells you the diagnosis. If you keep saying, no, I am not sick, this report is wrong, can treatment begin? No, the treatment starts only after acceptance. In the same way, life's healing begins only after we accept reality. Many people think that strong people never feel pain. That is a big misunderstanding. Strong people feel pain deeply, but they do not waste their energy asking, why me? Instead, they ask a better question, what now? The weak mind keeps arguing with life. The strong mind starts cooperating with life. You see, when you resist reality, you suffer twice. First, because of the situation. Second, because of your inner fight. But when you accept, something magical happens. Your breathing slows down. Your thoughts become clearer. Your emotions stop controlling you. And only then, you can take the right action. Let me say this very clearly. Acceptance is not surrender. Acceptance is strategy. A boxer who accepts that the opponent is stronger does not quit the match. He changes the plan. In the same way, when life hits you hard, accept the hit first. Only then can you stand up stronger. Sometimes we say, if I accept this loss, I will become weak. No, not accepting it will keep you stuck. Acceptance frees you from the past and gives you power in the present. You cannot change what has already happened, but you can always decide what kind of person you will become because of it. And remember this, life does not test you to destroy you. Life tests you to reveal your strength. The moment you accept reality, you stop asking life to change and you start changing yourself. And that, my friends, is where true strength begins. Most of us spend our entire life trying to control things that were never meant to be in our control. We try to control people's opinions. We try to control outcomes. We try to control how others should behave, think, or treat us. And when they don't behave the way we expect, we get angry, we get hurt, we feel powerless. But let me tell you something very honestly. Life never gives us control over situations. Life gives us control only over our response. The moment you understand this, half of your stress disappears. Think about it. You cannot control traffic. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control what someone says about you. You cannot control how someone behaves when they are emotional, insecure, or broken. But you can always control one thing, how you react, and reaction. Reaction decides your strength. Two people can face the same problem. One becomes bitter, the other becomes better. The situation is the same, the reaction is different. That is why strong people are not those who never face problems. Strong people are those who don't allow problems to control their inner world. When someone insults you, you have two choices. You can react immediately, raise your voice, lose your peace, say something you will regret later. Or you can pause, breathe, and choose your response. That pause, that small moment of awareness, is where power lives. Most regrets in life are not because of what happened to us. They are because of how we reacted in that moment. Anger spoken cannot be taken back. Words once released cannot be caught again. That is why emotional control is not weakness, it is intelligence. When you control your reaction, you protect your dignity. Remember this: the person who angers you controls you. The moment you lose control over your emotions, you hand over your power to someone else. Strong people never do that. They understand that shouting does not prove strength, silence does not prove weakness, calmness proves mastery. Life will test you through people, through unfair situations, through misunderstandings. And every time, life will ask you one silent question: will you react or will you respond? Reaction is automatic. Response is conscious. Reaction comes from ego. Response comes from wisdom. That does not mean you accept injustice. That does not mean you stay silent forever. It means you choose the right time, the right tone, and the right action. A calm mind sees solutions. An angry mind sees only problems. When emotions rise, intelligence falls. That is why ancient wisdom always teaches self-control before world control. You don't need to control the storm outside. You need to control the storm inside. Because when you are calm inside, no situation outside can shake you. People may misunderstand you. Circumstances may challenge you. Life may push you to your limits. But if your response is steady, your strength remains untouched. And slowly something beautiful happens. Situations stop controlling your mood. People stop deciding your peace. Problems stop defining your identity. You begin to live from the inside out. And that, my friends, is the true meaning of being strong in any situation. In today's world, we believe that strength means speaking loudly. We believe that power means having the last word. We believe that if we stay quiet, people will think we are weak. But let me tell you something very gently. Silence is not the absence of strength. Silence is the presence of control. Every time life hurts you, every time someone misunderstands you, every time someone tries to provoke you, you feel an inner pressure to react. Your mind says, answer back, explain yourself, defend your image. But strength does not come from proving yourself to everyone. Strength comes from knowing when words are necessary and when they are not. Not every argument deserves your energy. Not every accusation deserves your explanation. And not every battle deserves your participation. Silence is the pause that saves your peace. Think about it. The loudest noise in a room is not always the strongest force. Sometimes the quietest presence carries the deepest impact. A tree does not argue with the wind. It bends when needed and stands tall when the storm passes. In the same way, silence is not running away. Silence is choosing peace over ego. When someone is angry, their mind is closed. No logic can enter, no wisdom can stay. If you speak at that moment, your words will be wasted and your energy will be drained. Strong people understand this. They don't speak to be heard, they speak to be understood. And when understanding is not possible, they choose silence. There is a deep freedom in not reacting to everything. When you stop responding to negativity, negativity slowly loses its power over you. People may expect a reaction. They may provoke you deliberately. They may test your patience. And when you give them silence instead of drama, you win without fighting. Silence protects your self-respect. It keeps you from saying words that you will wish you could take back later. Many relationships are destroyed, not because of problems, but because of unnecessary words spoken in emotional moments. Silence gives emotions time to settle, and once emotions settle, wisdom rises. Remember this: you don't have to attend every argument you are invited to. Your peace is more valuable than winning a temporary debate. Silence also helps you listen to your inner voice, to your intuition, to the lesson hidden inside the situation. When you constantly speak, you stop learning. But when you stay silent, life teaches you. That does not mean you stay silent forever. There is a time to speak, and there is a time to remain quiet. Strong people know the difference. They don't react immediately. They observe, they reflect, they respond when the moment is right. And when they speak, their words carry weight. Because they were born from silence. So the next time life pushes you, the next time someone tests your patience, remember, you don't need to shout to prove strength. You don't need to argue to prove intelligence. You don't. need to react to protect your worth. Sometimes your silence is your strength, and that silence, when chosen with awareness, becomes your shield in every situation. One of the biggest reasons people feel weak inside is not because life is too hard, but because expectations are too heavy. We expect people to understand us. We expect people to support us. We expect people to behave the way we would behave. And when they don't, we feel hurt, disappointed, and broken. But let me tell you something very honestly. Expectations are silent agreements we make with ourselves without informing the other person. And then we punish them for not fulfilling those expectations. Strong people understand this simple truth. No one in this world is here to live according to our expectations. Everyone is fighting their own battles. Everyone is carrying their own wounds. Everyone is seeing the world through their own lens. When you expect too much from people, you give them the power to disturb your peace. And the more you expect, the more control you give away. This does not mean you stop loving people. This does not mean you become cold, distant. It simply means you stop attaching your happiness to their behavior. There is a big difference between hope and expectation. Hope is light, expectation is heavy. Hope allows, expectation demands. When demands are not met, disappointment is born. Many relationships don't break because of hatred. They break because of expectations. We expected loyalty, we expected consistency, we expected effort. And when life gave us reality instead, we felt betrayed. But listen carefully. People can only give what they have. Inside, someone who is confused cannot give clarity. Someone who is emotionally empty cannot give emotional support. Strong people don't take this personally. They understand that unmet expectations are not always rejection. Sometimes they are limitation. The moment you reduce expectations, something beautiful happens. You stop feeling angry. You stop feeling cheated. You stop feeling emotionally exhausted. Not because people changed, but because you did. You learn to give without demanding. You learn to help without waiting for return. You learn to love without conditions. And this gives you freedom. Freedom from constant disappointment. Freedom from emotional dependency. Freedom from mental stress. Expectations make relationships heavy. Understanding makes them light. When you stop expecting, every small effort feels like a blessing. Every kind act feels genuine. Every moment feels peaceful. This does not mean you tolerate disrespect. This does not mean you stay where you are not valued. It means you stop begging for what should be natural. Strong people know when to step back. They know when to stop explaining. They know when to stop hoping for change. They don't fight to be understood by everyone. They choose peace over approval. And slowly, life becomes calmer. People may still disappoint you, but they no longer destroy you. Because your strength is no longer dependent on how others treat you. Your happiness becomes your responsibility. Your peace becomes your priority. And when expectations drop, inner strength rises. You stop asking life, why don't people understand me? And you start saying, I understand myself. And that understanding, that emotional independence, is one of the strongest qualities a human being can ever develop. Most people run away from pain. They try to avoid it, hide it, distract themselves from it, and yet pain follows them everywhere. Because pain is not your enemy. Pain is a messenger. But we are so busy asking, why is this happening to me? That we forget to ask, what is this trying to teach me? Strong people don't become strong because life was easy on them. They become strong because life was honest with them. Every painful experience comes with a lesson wrapped inside it. If you reject the lesson, life repeats the experience. That is why some people keep facing the same problems. Different faces, different situations, but the same pain. Not because life is cruel, but because the lesson is still pending. Pain slows you down. It forces you to reflect. It makes you look inward. In happiness, the mind sleeps. In pain, the mind wakes up. Think about it. When everything is going well, we rarely question ourselves. But when life hurts, we start asking deep questions. Pain breaks illusions. It removes false attachments. It shows you who truly matters and what truly doesn't. The strongest transformations in life are born from the most painful moments. Loss teaches detachment, failure teaches humility, rejection teaches self-worth. Loneliness teaches self-reliance. If pain did not exist, growth would not exist. But here is where most people suffer unnecessarily. They relive the pain again and again in their mind. They carry yesterday's wounds into today's peace. Strong people feel pain, but they don't live in it. They sit with it, they understand it, they learn from it, and then they let it go. Pain is like fire. If you touch it unconsciously, it burns you. If you use it wisely, it gives you light. The same pain that breaks one person builds another. The difference is perspective. Instead of asking, why is life doing this to me? Strong people ask, what is life preparing me for? And slowly, pain stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like preparation. Pain also teaches compassion. When you suffer, you become softer toward others. You become less judgmental. You become more human. A person who has never suffered often lacks depth, but a person who has walked through pain carries wisdom in their silence. That is why don't rush to escape pain. Don't suppress it. Don't deny it. Allow it to pass through you, not live inside you. Cry if you need to. Pause if you must. Heal at your own pace. Strength does not mean you don't feel pain. Strength means you don't let pain make you bitter. You let it make you better. And one day, when you look back at the moments that once broke you, you will realize they were the moments that built the strongest version of you. That is why pain is not the enemy. Pain is the teacher. And those who listen to it never remain the same again. One of the heaviest burdens the human mind carries is the habit of taking everything personally. A look, a comment, a tone, a delay in reply. And suddenly, the mind starts creating stories. They don't respect me. I'm not important. I did something wrong. But let me tell you something very gently. Most of what people do has very little to do with you. People are living inside their own minds, fighting their own fears, carrying their own stress, insecurity, and pain. And yet, we make their behavior a definition of our worth. Strong people don't do that. They understand a simple truth. People respond to life from their inner state, not from your value. Someone who is angry will see anger everywhere. Someone who is insecure will speak from insecurity. Someone who is unhappy will spread unhappiness. It's not personal, it's psychological. When you take everything personally, you allow others to control your emotions without permission. Your mood rises and falls based on someone else's behavior. That is not strength, cheat. That is emotional dependence. Strong people pause before reacting. They ask themselves, is this really about me? Or is this about what they are going through? And most of the time, the answer becomes clear. This understanding creates emotional distance, not coldness, but clarity. You stop absorbing emotions that were never meant for you. Not everyone who is silent is ignoring you. Not everyone who is harsh is attacking you. Not everyone who disagrees with you is against you. People express their inner chaos in different ways. When you stop taking things personally, your mind becomes lighter. Your heart becomes calmer. Your reactions become wiser. You learn to observe without absorbing. You respond from understanding, not from hurt. This also protects your self-esteem. Your worth no longer depends on compliments or criticism. Praise doesn't inflate you. Insults don't deflate you. You stay centered. That is real emotional strength. Strong people don't carry unnecessary guilt. They don't over-explain. They don't constantly seek validation. They know who they are. And when someone misunderstands them, they don't rush to fix the image. They allow time and truth to speak for them. This doesn't mean you ignore feedback. It means you filter it. You take what helps you grow. You release what is born from someone else's pain. That clarity saves you from countless emotional wounds. When you stop taking everything personally, relationships improve. You argue less, you understand more, you forgive faster, life becomes simpler, and the biggest freedom of all, you stop fighting invisible battles inside your mind, because you realize not every thought deserves attention, not every behavior deserves reaction. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is remind yourself, this is not about me. And when you truly understand that, You become emotionally unshakable, calm on the inside, steady in any situation. In a world that keeps changing every day, where people change, situations change, and plans collapse, the only place where true strength can live is inside you. Outer stability is temporary. Money can fluctuate. Status can disappear. Relationships can shift. Health can test you. If your peace depends only on outer things, you will always feel insecure. Strong people understand something very important. When the inside is stable, the outside loses its power to shake you. Inner stability means your mind does not panic in chaos. Your emotions do not control your decisions. Your self-worth does not collapse. When something goes wrong, it doesn't mean life becomes perfect, it means you become prepared. Inner stability is built slowly, quietly, daily. It begins with knowing yourself. When you know who you are, others' opinions lose their grip on you. When you know your values, confusion loses its hold on you. When you know your purpose, distractions stop controlling you. Strong people don't seek constant approval, they seek alignment. They ask themselves, am I acting according to my values? Not, does everyone like me? That question alone creates inner strength. Inner stability also comes from discipline. Simple routines, consistent habits, a calm start to the day, moments of silence. These things may look small, but they build a strong inner foundation. A scattered mind feels weak. A disciplined mind feels safe. Strong people create space for stillness, because in stillness, the mind resets. They don't drown themselves in noise to escape their thoughts. They sit with themselves. They observe, they understand. And slowly, fear reduces. Inner stability also comes from emotional awareness. Instead of suppressing emotions, strong people recognize them. I am feeling angry. I am feeling anxious. I am feeling sad. Naming emotions takes away their power. Unrecognized emotions control you. Recognized emotions guide you. When you are emotionally aware, you don't explode. You don't suppress, you respond wisely. Another powerful source of inner stability is detachment. Not detachment from people, detachment from outcomes. You give your best effort, but you don't attach your peace to the result. Success doesn't make you arrogant. Failure doesn't make you hopeless. You stay balanced. Life becomes less dramatic and more meaningful. Inner stability also grows when you trust yourself. You stop doubting every decision. You stop seeking reassurance everywhere. Even when you make mistakes, you don't collapse. You learn, you adjust, you move forward. That trust creates calm confidence. When you are stable inside, problems feel manageable. You don't rush, you don't panic, you don't lose yourself. People notice this. They may not understand your calm, but they feel it. Your presence becomes grounding. And the most beautiful part, when you are stable inside, you don't need to control the world. You don't need everything to be perfect, to feel okay. You carry your peace with you, no matter the place, no matter the situation, no matter the storm. That is why inner stability is not a luxury, it is a necessity, because life will continue to test you. But when your roots are deep, the storm only proves your strength. Many people believe that complaining gives relief. They think that by talking about their problems again and again, the pain will reduce, but slowly complaining becomes a habit, and that habit silently makes a person weak. Strong people don't deny their problems, they simply refuse to live inside them. There is a big difference between expressing pain and constantly complaining about it. Expression heals, complaining traps. When you complain, your mind stays focused on what is wrong, and what you focus on grows. The more you complain, the heavier life feels. Complaining makes you feel like a victim. Growth makes you feel responsible. Strong people understand that life doesn't change because you complain. Life changes because you act. Every situation, no matter how difficult, carries a hidden opportunity to grow. But growth begins only when you ask the right question. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Strong people ask, what can I learn from this? That one shift changes everything. Complaining looks backward. Growth looks forward. Complaining drains energy. Growth uses energy. When something goes wrong, you have two choices. You can sit and replay the problem in your mind, or you can take one small step forward. Strong people choose progress, even if it is uncomfortable. They accept responsibility for their life, not blame. Blame gives temporary satisfaction. Responsibility gives permanent power. When you stop complaining, you stop giving excuses. And when excuses disappear, discipline appears. You begin to take control of your time, your habits, your mindset. Even in situations you cannot change immediately, you can still grow internally. You can grow in patience. You can grow in emotional control. You can grow in understanding. Growth does not always mean big success. Sometimes growth means staying calm where you used to break. Strong people also understand that complaining spreads negativity. It affects your mood, it affects your relationships, it affects your energy. People feel drained around constant complainers, but people feel inspired around those who focus on solutions. This doesn't mean you pretend everything is fine. It means you don't let problems define your identity. You acknowledge the difficulty, you feel the pain, and then you move forward. Slowly, your mind becomes stronger. You start seeing challenges as training sessions for life. Every difficulty sharpens you, every obstacle prepares you. And over time, you realize something powerful. The moments that demanded growth were the moments that built strength. Complaining keeps you stuck in the past. Growth pulls you into the future. And when you choose growth consistently, even life's hardest lessons begin to feel meaningful. That is why strong people don't ask life for comfort. They ask life for growth. And life, in its own tough way, always delivers. One of the hardest things for the human heart to do is to trust time. When pain is fresh, when confusion is heavy, when answers are missing, we want clarity immediately. We want results now. We want healing now. We want life to make sense now. But life does not work on our timetable. Strong people understand this. Time is not working against you. Time is working on you. When something breaks inside you, time doesn't rush to fix it. Time allows you to grow strong enough to carry what you've learned. Most frustration comes not from the situation itself, but from our impatience with the process. We keep checking the wound before it has healed. We keep questioning the journey before it has revealed its meaning. Strong people learn to sit with uncertainty. They don't demand instant answers from life. They allow experiences to unfold because some lessons cannot be understood quickly. They must be lived. Time has a way of revealing truth. What feels unfair today often becomes understandable tomorrow. What feels like a loss today often becomes protection later. But when you are inside the storm, you cannot see the direction of the wind. That vision comes only with distance. Strong people trust this distance. They understand that healing is not linear. Some days you feel strong, some days you feel broken again, and both are part of the process. Trusting time does not mean doing nothing. It means doing your part without forcing outcomes. You show up, you give effort, you stay honest, you stay patient, and then you let life do its part. When you rush the process, you miss the lesson. When you resist the process, you increase the pain. But when you trust the process, peace slowly enters. Time also teaches detachment. It shows you that what you thought was permanent was temporary, and what you thought you couldn't survive, you did. That realization builds deep confidence. Strong people don't measure life only by short-term results. They think long-term. They know that character is not built in comfort. Wisdom is not built in ease. Strength is not built in speed. Strength is built in patience. Trusting time also means forgiving yourself for not having it all figured. You don't need to have every answer today. You don't need to be perfect right now. You just need to keep moving, slowly, honestly, consistently. And one day, often without warning, things start making sense. The chaos settles, the pain softens, the lesson becomes clear, and you realize what once felt like delay was actually preparation. Time didn't take anything from you, it shaped you. That is why strong people don't fight time, they walk with it. They trust that every phase, no matter how uncomfortable, is moving them forward. And when you learn to trust time and the process, you stop panicking about the future. You live more fully in the present, calm, grounded, strong. One of the most beautiful truths about strength is that it is not measured by how hard you hit, or how much you dominate others, or how fearless you appear on the outside. True strength is revealed in how you treat others, especially when life is harsh, when circumstances are unfair, when people do not treat you the way you deserve. It is easy to be kind when everything is smooth. Anyone can smile when the sun is shining. Anyone can be generous when they have plenty. Anyone can be patient when there is no pressure. But real strength shines in moments of difficulty. When someone wrongs you, do you retaliate, or do you pause, breathe, and choose compassion? When someone disappoints you, do you close your heart, or do you stay open, forgiving, understanding? When life gives you reasons to become bitter, do you harden your heart, or do you continue to treat people with care and respect? This is the ultimate test of character, because being kind when it is easy does not make you strong. Being kind when it is difficult reveals true power. Strong people understand that anger, resentment, and hatred only weigh down the mind and the heart. They understand that bitterness hurts the one who holds it more than the one it is directed toward. Being kind in a harsh world does not mean being weak. It means you are strong enough to rise above the temptation to hurt back. Think about this carefully. Strength without kindness is just force. Force can break walls, but it cannot build relationships. Kindness, even in adversity, builds bridges that last a lifetime. Strong people do not confuse strength with control. They do not think that power comes from making others afraid. They know that true power comes from self-control and gentle persistence. They remain generous not because others deserve it, but because generosity strengthens their own soul. They remain patient, not because everyone will understand, but because patience nurtures clarity and wisdom. They remain compassionate, not because life is fair, but because compassion keeps their hearts alive. The world will not always be kind. People will betray you. Circumstances will challenge you. Life will sometimes feel unjust. But if you choose to stay kind in the midst of life's harshness, you protect yourself from becoming hardened, bitter, or cynical. Strength without kindness may win battles, but it will lose peace. Strength with kindness wins life. And slowly, as you practice this, something magical happens. Your strength becomes a shield, not a weapon. Your calmness becomes a light, not a burden. Your presence becomes a source of inspiration, not fear. Every act of kindness you perform in adversity echoes back to you in ways why may never see. Every moment you choose patience over anger builds a foundation of inner peace that cannot be shaken. And one day, when you look back, you will realize that the situations that demanded strength, the people who tested you, and the challenges that tried to break you were actually giving you an opportunity to cultivate the strongest, most unshakable version of your heart. Because being strong is not just surviving storms, it is carrying your heart through storms without losing your softness, your compassion, and your humanity. That, my friends, is the ultimate strength.